if you want to be great and do great things, you need to stop saying yes and start saying no. If you don't know who I am, my name is Carter Positano. I'm a 22-year-old entrepreneur who has grown and scaled multiple businesses to 6 figures. In less than 3 years, I've traveled 34 countries, 6 continents, six out of 7 wonders of the world. And my goal here on YouTube is to be the person that I needed, not only when I was 18, but the person that I needed last year, last month, last week, and yesterday. And I do that through teaching the lessons that I've learned to get myself into the position that I am today with other people through YouTube and through these videos. And I want to help and be the person for somebody else in the same position that I was when I was getting started. And even if you're 10 years into business or 10 years past me or at the same point as me, I think there's always something somebody can pick up from somebody else. Even if you are a mentor to somebody else, you can always learn from others. And I think that there's always something somebody can take away no matter what, as long as you're looking for the right answers. So today I want to talk about a concept that was really sticky to me when I first heard it. And I remember growing up, and one of the biggest channels I used to watch on YouTube all the time, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them, but it's Yes Theory. And I don't know what they're up to these days. I haven't watched them in a long time, but I watched them when they started coming out, like their first videos on YouTube, probably 15 years ago now. And I remember that concept being so interesting to me. Yes, there. Just say yes. Just say yes. Just say yes. Because the situations you'll get yourself in and the people you meet and all these things. And I do agree with that wholeheartedly, that saying yes will always get you an interesting story. But saying no will create a life that nobody else has. And the reason that is because we need to be more protective of our time if we want to be great. And if you want to be somebody that has a bunch of stories and nothing else, awesome. Keep saying yes. If you want to be someone great, start saying no. And this doesn't mean that you have to say no to every experience. What it means is you need to prioritize where your time is going, right? And I think the first person I heard preach this was Alex Hormozi. And I've talked about Alex Hormozi a lot because when I was starting out on my journey, he was one of the gurus I kind of found out about. And it was in my introduction into the life that I live now. And kind of the YouTubers that I was watching during that time, a lot of them were a little bit softer. You know, they would tell you things, but they wouldn't give you hard love. Now, Alex Hormozi is an extremist, and when I first watched him, I was super turned off. I go, I've gone too far down the rabbit hole. This dude is crazy. And one of the things he said was, you have to start saying no to your friends, right? Because your friends aren't going to serve you. If you have shitty friends, then you're going to stay shitty, right? You're not going to improve hanging out with these people that suck. And I was like, well, I don't want to give up my friends. I don't want to give up these people, and I've been giving them up, right? But I've very heavily distanced myself from the people that I spent my time with at the start of this journey. And even today, I don't have that many friends. I have a lot of connections, whatever. But I don't have any true friends because it's very rare for me to find somebody that shares mindsets with me. That doesn't mean I got rid of everyone, but everyone that didn't serve me, everyone that wasn't family to me, and there's friends that I consider family. They are still my family. They're still my life, but I don't see them every day. And it's because I started saying no. And now when you start saying no, you start saying yes to the things that matter, right? Because if I said yes every single time one of my friends asked me to the bar when I moved out, I would have lost my first apartment. I would have went bankrupt. My first business would have went nowhere. I would have never finished my albums. I would have never traveled. I would have never been here, right? I would have never be who I am today if I didn't start practicing and saying no to things. Because once again, remember this. Saying no to something means you can say yes to something else. And that doesn't mean waiting for the best opportunity to walk by you, saying no to your friend's birthday because you're like, well, what if there's a wedding? Or what if there's this more exclusive party? That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I say no to drinking on weekends so I can say yes to building a business. And I sacrificed so much time when I got started in the entrepreneurship journey because I knew I had to make sacrifices. And saying no is making sacrifices. But it's not sacrificing your life. It's just sacrificing things that don't matter. Even drinking to me. I had this realization when I was 18, 19 that I was spending on average $400 a week drinking, right? $1,200 per month. And then I started budgeting traveling. And I realized I was trying to find ways on how to travel because I love to travel so much and I didn't have the money to sacrifice for my business to put into this, right? So I started thinking, well, where can you save money? What can you do? And here's the thing, is if you spend most people, if you go to the bar, right, you might spend $20, $30 on a six-pack before you go out, and then you're going to go to the bar, entry's $20, drinks are $12 a drink. You buy 5, 6 drinks. You buy a snack. Most people go on Friday, Saturday night. If you're in college, people are going out even more than that. They're broke, but they're still spending all their money on alcohol. And I used to do it in high school, right? I was the same way with my fake ID. I'd literally spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, even just at the liquor store, to go out and drink. And what I realized is I was spending on average $400 a week. If you go to the bar, you're not spending less than $100 to $200 a night, unfortunately. And I started saying, no, I'm not going out, right? Because what that allowed me to do is on weekends, I would not only would I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not be hungover, have clear mind to do the work that I need to do, so I would be getting farther, because realistically, I almost have 3 extra days on top of these people that are working 5 days a week, right? Because I'm being productive Sunday, I'm being productive Friday night, and I'm being productive on Saturday. And I'm working nights most of these days. So the thing is I pretty much have 2 weeks. I've doubled the time that most people give themselves because I wanted it, right? And on top of that, saying no to drinking, saving that $400 a week, all of a sudden at the end of the month, I had an extra $1,200 a month, right? So after 2 months, I have $2,400 in my pocket. That is a flight to anywhere in the world. And if you're budget traveling, a flight to anywhere in the world and 2 weeks in a hostel, in a hotel. And I don't stay in hostels anymore, but if I wanted to take $1,200 and fly to Asia, round trip, I could still stay there for probably 3-4 weeks in Airbnbs. It's like $30 a day. You know what I mean? You have $1,200 spent. Oh my God! All of a sudden, you just broke free. You know? So saying no now allows you to say yes in the future, and people don't understand that. So the concept that I want to stick with you is yes, saying no, but also prioritizing your time. Think about what truly matters to you, because to me, right? Music is still my end goal, and to get there, I need to work on my businesses. I see this path, I see it from bird's eye view, and I know what steps I need to take in order to get where I want to go, which means I make decisions based on the point that I'm going to. Most people don't have the future sight to be able to go, well, if I go out tonight, I'm going to be hung out tomorrow, I won't do this. I'm going to be hungover tomorrow, which means I won't do this and I won't do this. And on Monday, I'm probably going to be slacking. Now, if you work for somebody else, this is the trap people find themselves in constantly, is that, well, I'm going to work this 40-hour-a-week job, and then on the weekends, you got just enough energy to go out and have a good time and then blow your paycheck. It's a trap, right? I think, honestly, one of the reasons liquor is legal is because it keeps people in this cycle of being okay with doing nothing. When you start saying no to bullshit, you start saying yes to actual opportunities, right? The time you buy yourself back by saying no to people for things that don't serve you are going to be the difference between regular people and people that make it to where they want to go. Because most people become complacent and they don't push themselves to these next levels. They stay in the same place for their entire lives because they just keep saying yes to all the wrong things. And I only use drinking is because I think that analogy is the best way to frame it, but not everybody was in the same position I was in. So I also want you to look at it as your friend texting you on a weeknight and being like, let's go hang out, let's go do this, let's go do this stupid event, right? Let's go hang out with these girls, right? And instead of saying, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with these girls, instead I go on a run, or I skateboard, or I do something that actually matters to me, because I've realized over time, for instance, sex, there's not a lot you take away from that in the grand scheme of things. One night stands, sure, they can be fun, they can be temporarily fulfilling, but most of the time you walk away with that nothing gained, right? But you know what you did actually lose? Your time, your energy, right? You could have put that into anything else and you would have been more fulfilled from it. Even something like I just want to say skateboarding, right? Because I love skateboarding. Even to this day, I don't do it every day, but I truly love skateboarding. And the thing is I know if I spend an hour skateboarding, I'm going to get way more enjoyment out of that than most other things because I just like it, you know? And me saying no to going to hang out with girls means I can put my time into doing that. I can put my time into learning guitar. And obviously I'm using examples for things that I like, that benefit me, that push me. But you have to look at it even if you're just driven by money, honestly, because that's a big key of it, right? Even if you're just driven by money, when you say no to something, you say yes to something else. Even at the end of the night, you want to go and smoke a joint, right? I used to be guilty of it, just kind of go brain rot on the couch. Instead of doing that, instead of choosing that route, instead of saying yes to the easy route, say no and go do something that matters, right? You can have as much fun And I know this sounds so stupid. It's like, once again, apples to oranges. Well, if you want candy, just go eat fruit. It's not the same. I understand that. If you want to smoke a weed and sit on the couch, fine. In moderation, of course, right? But what I'm saying is, like, if that's something you do every night, start saying no to it twice, 3 times a week, and instead, try to learn a new skill, right? Try to work on something that is going to push you forward instead of keep you in the same place. Every time you say no to something, you say yes to something else. And now this is a giant concept I could honestly talk about for hours, but in this video, I really just wanted to get the point across that prioritizing your time is everything. The only currency we truly hold as humans is time. And every time you say yes to nonsense, you say no to the things that matter. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope there was something you guys could take away from this video. And if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment on what you guys want to hear, what you guys need help with these days. I'm always here to help, and I would love to hear what people have been thinking of these videos. Anyways, guys, once again, my name is Carter Positano, and I hope I see you in the next video.